I'm not used to seeing you from that side.
I like it here.
Popcorn?
Yeah. No.
No?
He's in my spot.
Oh, okay, Sheldon.
It's alright, we've been through this before. So whoever wins, goes straight, and the other one has to go round. Okay?
Hey.
Okay.
This happened last time.
Okay.
Come on, guys.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Yay! Off you go that way.
Okay. Well, catch you guys later.
There's no need to leave. Just
Come round this way.
we don't need to go.
I see.
Oh! Ah! You're being attacked by
Attack of the Trent!
Trent!
He wants to cuddle you.
Okay, I will sit there now. I'm scared.
He looks a bit shaken by the experience himself, doesn't he?
How can you tell?
Maybe moment. You're back.
Hurrah!
Thank you for joining us again on Maybe Movies. My name is Max,
My name is Sam.
And I'm Chris.
and we are up to the penultimate episode of September, and Act 2 of our new vision of Child's Play, which is called Child's Story. Are you happy now?
Always.
Good. Obviously, if you are new to the channel, thank you for stopping by and checking us out. And please do all the usual, hit the like button, throw us a sub, and maybe even leave us a comment. And obviously do watch through till the end, because there is the amazing prize of nothing but entertainment.
If you call it that.
You were leaving, weren't you? Okay, before we jump into Act 2, we are going to do our regular shout-out, which today I'm going to hand over to Chris.
Thank you very much, Max. It's just basically a shout out to a film that I've recently posted on YouTube. It's called Laura's Story, not to be confused with Child's Story. It was made a few years back. But
I'm sure Laura was a child once.
Oh, yes, quite possibly. But yeah, it's just co-directed it, I shot it and edited it, and I've recently posted on YouTube, and I'd really appreciate it, guys, if you could give it a watch and a like and all that jazz. It's basically, should be on the bio of this episode, and
There'll be a link somewhere here as well.
yes, please give it a watch, I'd very much appreciate it.
Fantastic filmmaker, see?
Thank you.
As a callback.
Oh yes, of course, yes. You are, though, you are. Man.
Oh, I don't know about that.
And you as well.
Now that we're done stroking each other's
Something.
egos. Act 2. So, last we left off, we had Evil Zurg has gone out the window with Aunt Maggie,
Yes.
but only one of them has walked away
Sounds about right.
and gone in search of Eddie, who has his minions, who in this case aren't minions. They're in the shape of the tiny three-eyed aliens. So do we need to see a bit of action on them, or are we going to keep with it as Child's Play is? So everything revolves around the family and around Andy and his mum and things like that until they go somewhere.
Yes, I think so. I mean, what do you think?
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah.
Because we've already set up the conflict with the whole thing with Zurg earlier on, so people know what's at stake.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think you need to explain much more, do we? And we agreed that he knows about Eddie because of the news.
Yes.
Yes, of course. So that's why he knows where to go.
Are we going to keep it the same that we as an audience don't see Buzz actually doing anything immediately? I mean, obviously I know we've seen him fight Zurg, but even at this point we never actually see him conversing with Andy. Or are we going to see it actually get some Tim Allen action.
Home improvement.
So much improvement. I think we'd be wasting Tim Allen if we didn't use him more in this movie.
Fantastic.
So, like, once we get past the bit when the police are there and after the police have left and everything like that, maybe we should start to see Andy actually conversing with Buzz.
Mhm.
So Act 2 begins with Mike. Is it Mike?
Yes.
And his team going to investigate the crime scene, and then... Is this the point where Andy says it was Buzz that did it? Well, in Child's Play, it was Chucky that did it. But is he going to blame it on Buzz?
Well, he might do, because there'll be 2 sets of footprints on the counter.
He might say something really vague, like Buzz was after the bad guy or something.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's nice.
Would he defend him?
I think he would.
Wouldn't he love Zurg equally as much as Buzz?
He doesn't know Zurg is there because they've bought both of them. But I'm imagining they've kept Zurg separate because they're going to give him to him as a present at Christmas.
Mm.
Yeah. So he doesn't know, but that's why I think something vague like the bad guy.
Yeah.
Because it would be whatever Buzz has told him.
Yeah, that works.
I'm guessing.
Yeah, I like that.
Buzz actually explains that Zurg is an evil emperor
Yeah.
and all that, yeah. Okay.
But yes, because he's never actually seen him. But they'll find 2 sets of footprints on the tabletop, on the worktop, and one of those will be Buzz's. So he will have flour on his shoes.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
We have Mike and Karen walk out the door, and there's that weird friction between them. Is that what? I don't quite get that bit in the film. Is that actually they're dated, or were they?
I think they were trying to put it in there as a love interest sort of sub story.
It didn't really go anywhere.
It doesn't go anywhere. No,
No, it doesn't. I think it was one of those things that they put in there because it was the 80s and you had to have a love interest.
Yeah.
But then they just didn't know what to do after that, and so it just deformed into the basic.
Even he says at one point, "Are you going to call me?" or things like that.
Yeah. Because back in the 80s, only men did the asking out.
Mm-hmm.
Indeed.
Apparently,
yeah.
They did.
when were you born? Then we get the next day when they go to when Andy goes to school, and him and Buzz go off on a mission.
Oh, yes, on their journey on the L,
Yes,
taking a trip around town.
because obviously Buzz doesn't know where Eddie lives.
No, we'd have to put it in some way.
In the news or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Either that or one of the cops mentions it to Mike because that was another case that he was working on.
Yes.
I've just got back from checking out. I couldn't see
This
any...
place over on.
Yeah, I couldn't see anything there.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's a good simple solution.
Yeah, that incredible again 6-year-old kid on the subway.
Yeah. Nobody says anything. Nobody says a single word to that kid.
No. Again, back in the 80s, you didn't bother children then.
Well, no, it's more like, have you lost your mum?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then again, it is the rough side of Chicago.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, there was that.
So he gets there, and I take it will be the same. Oh, so how about this? They get outside the house. Obviously, Andy needs to go take a tinkle.
Mm.
One of the aliens, or either that or Zurg, is trying to do the ritual on Eddie, and it's creating some kind of atmospheric disturbance, as the ritual will do. That's the impetus that Buzz needs to not wait for Andy.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Would that work? Possibly also because he wants to keep Andy out of danger as well.
I was going to go with that one personally.
Okay.
Being, good guy, angelic being, whatever it is that we eventually settle on.
Yes, of course, he doesn't want to
Endanger the child.
Yeah.
This is no place for a child. You wait here.
Ooh, that's a good, interesting point then in this. Does it work, or is it still just a little light?
Oh.
That's why he can't move. It expends too much energy to make the laser real, that he has to kind of go...
Oh.
So at times it can be real.
Yes,
like
but when he does it, afterwards he has to become a doll again, because he
Because
has
he
to
just takes
recharge.
so much energy.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah,
I like that. That's, you think?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Killing it. Absolutely killing it.
Is that the same with Zurg's guns?
I suppose it would be.
He has like rocket launcher guns, doesn't he? And
I've never really... Because I've only seen Toy Story 2 like once, I think.
it's like a Nerf gun he has. It fires.
Oh,
the toy
yeah.
itself does.
Mm-hmm.
That's right, he's got the big hand
It's
cannon
like a huge
thing.
cannon. Yeah,
Yeah.
It fires 3 Nerf pellets or whatever. But I'm thinking
So it'll be
in
like
the show it
firing
would have been.
hellfire or something in this?
I think it was just meant to be rocket launchers. But then again, with that. But later on, there is a house that explodes.
There is. So it could be.
So it could be all to do with Zurg.
Yeah.
Yeah, in fact, we're actually...
That's where we are now,
That's
yeah.
where we are now.
Oh yeah, I thought I was jumping into.
I like that as well.
Yeah, yeah.
I think that's...
Yeah, no, that's a nice touch.
Thank you.
Which gives us quite an exciting scene at Eddie's house then. So is he going to take out all of the minions here, or...
I think he's going to take out at least one, I think he's going to go.
Oh, absolutely has to take out one, yeah. Do you think we should leave more for later? Or it feels like a bit of a waste if we've got 3 minions and we blow them all up at once.
I think one definitely. It's just a question of whether we want to lose 2 at this point. Because there's one other thing that we do need to think about in this act. Why do they go after Mike? Chucky goes after Mike because he shot him, because he killed him. But why do they go after Mike? I've got it. At least one of the aliens is the one that goes after Mike, is the human that he selected to drain the life force out of.
Okay, alright.
Because he was at the shop at the time, wasn't he?
Does that mean we have a scene with the little 3-eyed alien minion with a knife?
Yeah. Killing off one alien.
Yes. So I think we should leave it so that we've got 1 and Zurg at the end.
Yes.
So 1 goes now. We'll get rid of 1 in the car with Mike.
Okay, right.
Yeah. And then we've got 1 left as a backup for Zurg in the finale.
How does the second alien die? Is it just in the car crash?
Do we want to dive in any more in depth into this scene at the house? Buzz goes in, runs into one of the aliens who's on guard or something.
Mm-hmm.
They have a tussle. He uses the laser, dispatches it, and releases its... or destroys the toys so its energy is...
And that's the first time it sucks the life out of them.
Yeah. Manages to stop Zurg from jumping into Eddie, but the result of which is boom, 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 boom with his cannon, and the house goes up.
Okay.
So, unfortunately, we lose Eddie anyway,
Yes.
but Zurg and the other 2 aliens get away.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
We could... Oh, this is fun, because obviously, I know we never actually see it in the thing, but Mike obviously goes to the house when they go and find Andy. And that's the point when the other alien it's still hanging around somewhere, ferret itself away somewhere, and it jumps in his car then.
Yes. That would be the time.
So we'd still get all of the sequence when they go to the police, when they go to the precinct, and it gets taken in, it gets sectioned. So we still get all of that stuff. And I suppose we still get the bit with Karen going back and finding the batteries.
That's kind of a scene that we need to have, which is going to be completely different, because of course this is Buzz, not Chucky.
Yeah. It'd be really nice, that scene in the precinct as well, when Andy's getting really angry at Chucky because he won't speak. And he's trying to do the same to Buzz because maybe he doesn't understand that he can't speak all of the time. So we might get just like a focus on Buzz's face as he's there. He's like inside, he's like, I really want to, but I can't. He's aware, but he can't physically move.
do
Can he
anything.
bash him, and then as he's bashing him, he's hitting one of his buttons. He keeps saying, Buzz, 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 Lightyear to the rescue.
Yes.
Come on, Buzz, say something, Buzz, Buzz.
Yes, absolutely, I agree. 100%.
Absolutely,
Give that man a star.
Absolutely.
Oh,
There
thank
you
you.
go, buddy. So yeah, that all happens the same. Then we get the bit going to try and find the vendor.
Yes.
Because that would all again play
Retracing
out
the steps, all of that stuff.
and then we get to him jumping in the car, and we get to sort of end of act. I mean, obviously we'll look at this a bit more, but I want to say, rather than having that roll of wires that it throws around to try and strangle him, it's on the back seat, and it just shoots out its tongue, and it wraps its tongue around his neck.
I like it.
Why not? It's the only way it's going to have to work. They're not threatening.
They're not really threatening unless you give them something extra.
Wait, how many of them are in that car at that point? Just one.
Just
the one.
Oh, right, yeah.
So that scene will kind of play out the same. The car will roll. It's running around. I'm assuming Mike blows it apart with his gun. Because obviously he shoots Chucky.
Oh, that's right. Yes, yeah.
So if he shoots that thing...
And it's small enough to be just
tiny.
blown to smithereens.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I'd like to say, though, again, just to make it a bit more spectacular, when he shoots it and it explodes, all of the energy is released and it kind of flips the car across the street.
Oh, yes. Like the noisy cricket moment in Men in Black.
Yes!
He just points at something and oh, shit!
So that's the only thing that we won't get then, is we won't get the visit to Charles Lee Ray's place.
No, but that's because there's no voodoo in this story.
So there's no need to.
Yeah.
So we're losing John then as well?
What, Dr. Death?
Because I did think, as we're turning so much of this stuff on his head, what if John is an angel in human form and is still on Earth?
As a human.
Yeah. As somebody for Buzz to go and see for help.
I personally think that's a bit convoluted.
It does feel like it's a bit of a stretch.
Okay.
I mean, because the only reason the Dr. Death is in there is for exposition in the original movie.
True. I just was trying to figure out a way of keeping him in the film, and because he's he's only mentioned about 2/3 of the way through the film.
Yeah.
And then he appears. Yeah. That's why I didn't think it was important to mention it before.
Well, no, yeah, I mean, because he's entirely associated with Charles Lee Ray.
Yeah.
And not just even as an accomplice like Eddie, but that's his thing.
Okay. Not a problem.
So get rid of Dr. Death?
I think so. I mean, that's my personal go-to.
Yeah, I have to keep things simple.
Then I think in place of that... Oh no, we've already passed that. So I was going to say, the scene where Karen realises that he's alive is Buzz has recovered and he can talk to her.
That's what I figured.
Yes.
That's what I figured you were implying with the whole not being able to move while they're at the police station.
But
by the time
afterwards,
she gets him home, he's recovered enough.
Yes.
I kind of imagine she does the thing when she takes off the back and sees that the battery compartment's empty, and I just imagine Tim Allen's voice going, I can explain, I promise.
In his hat goes
Oh,
on.
yeah. There's got to be a moment as well where they try to get rid of his helmet and he genuinely thinks he's running out of oxygen. There's got to be a point when they fight and he accidentally presses the button.
Oh, nice. That's how Zurg gets the opportunity, the window to get away when they're in Eddie's house.
Yeah.
He smacks the thing and his head goes up and he goes, and then Zurg runs away.
Oh, that's a lovely moment, yes.
I think if that's a star, that should really be Kris because it came from his idea.
Really?
Yeah.
No, man, you're killing him, man. Obviously, we've had the bit with the car. It would then be him coming back and going to Karen, we need to talk, and then them realising that. So the only bit I'm trying to figure out before we end the act is we need to figure out how they know that they need to go and get Andy out of the asylum because Zurg knows where Andy is. And my thought with that is that they've probably figured out if Buzz was going to possess a human, it would be Andy. If they kill Andy, then Buzz is trapped.
Like he has to pick a victim and use that victim.
Yeah.
A bit like how Chucky's got that role.
Exactly. It's just how they make that connection.
Yeah,
well,
I think that's the thing we should establish earlier, but I think I agree.
Of course they do. Because he turns up at Eddie's house with Andy. So they would have seen Andy walking around going, Buzz, looking for him.
Yes, of course. Oh yeah, they know about Andy.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'll have seen him. Zurg would know about Andy because he was in the apartment at one point.
Yes, of course he would.
No, that was 2 acts ago.
It was. Okay, so but that brings us to the end of Act 2.
All right, we've done it. So far, so good.
I like it.
Okay, so please come back and join us on Friday for our final show of the month, when we will be wrapping up Child's Story. I'm not going to do that every time. And then at the end of the episode, we'll be casting our votes for which one we think should be our maybe movie for the month. Which does mean that, being the penultimate show, at the same time as this comes out, our poll for you lovely viewers will be going up as well, so that you can have your say. They will be definitely on our Twitter feed. It will be pinned to our Twitter feed. It will be on our LinkedIn if you're on there, and it will be on our story on Instagram as well. And then at the pitch meeting for October, we will announce the winner. Until then, we will see you on Friday.
As always, guys, TTFN.
Caretake.
Ba 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 ba.